before the Ottomans. Who were the Turks? The untold story of Islam's greatest warriors. 2,000 years ago, before Islam had arrived, before any caliphate had risen, a powerful nomadic force was quietly taking shape across the vast plains of Central Asia. They were the Xiongnu Empire, also known as the Asian Han Empire. Their most famous ruler was Meet Khan, who, much like Ogdi Khan, seized power by rebelling against his own father, Tuman. At this same time, the Arab world was divided into countless tribes scattered across the Arabian Peninsula. Yet Arab merchants were fearless travelers. Their caravans pushed all the way into Syria, Persia, and the depths of Central Asia. And it was on these very routes that the first meeting between Arab traders and Turkic nomadic tribes took place. This meeting did not happen on a battlefield. It happened on the Silk Road, in the trading cities of Samarkand, Bokhara, and Merv. These were cities that had become the crossroads of nations, languages, and civilizations. Arab merchants brought spices, perfumes, and fine cloth. The Turkic tribes sold horses, furs, and weapons. At that moment, no one could have imagined that these very Turkic tribes, centuries later, would embrace Islam and go on to build the most powerful empires the Islamic world had ever seen. For centuries, the Turks remained faithful to their ancient sky worship religion, Tengriism. But gradually, some tribes began to accept Christianity as Roman and Byzantine civilization surrounded them. And then, Islam arrived in Central Asia, and it changed the Turkic world forever. When the Asian Han Empire eventually collapsed and scattered, Turkic tribes began migrating westward along the Silk Road, reaching as far as Europe and settling there. Over the next 150 years, their population in Europe slowly but steadily grew. Then, around the 4th century CE, a famous Hun ruler named Attila the Hun united all the scattered Turkic tribes across Europe and established a new Turkic empire, known to history as the European Han Empire. These warriors fought multiple wars against the Byzantines and extracted heavy tribute and wealth from them in return. During this same era, the Roman Empire was collapsing under pressure from all sides. Germanic tribal rebellions in the west, endless wars with Persia's Sasanian Empire in the east, pressure from the Huns in the north, and devastating internal political and economic crises. All of these forces combined to tear the Roman Empire apart. The western half eventually fell into decline. The eastern half survived and strengthened as the Byzantine Empire. Meanwhile, the Huns continued their conquests, stretching from Central Asia all the way to modern-day Germany, Hungary, Russia, Ukraine, and the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. But no empire lasts forever. After Attila's death, the Hun Empire began to crumble. The power that had once terrorized all of Europe dissolved within a single century. By the end of 480 CE, it was gone. The Turkic tribes that remained in Europe now found themselves surrounded by Roman and Byzantine Christian civilization. Over time, many of them not only integrated into European societies, but also began to accept Christianity. The ancient Tengri traditions slowly faded. This was the first great religious transformation of the Turkic world. The second, and far greater, transformation was yet to come. Back in Central Asia, the scattered Turkic tribes had reorganized themselves into 3 major powers. The most notable among them was the Rouran Khaganate, which ruled over multiple Turkic tribes, collected taxes, and kept them under firm control. But history was about to turn. A Turkic leader named Buman Khagan emerged. He united the fractured Turkic tribes and launched a rebellion against the Rouran Khaganate. The revolt grew into a full-scale war, and ultimately, Buman Khagan crushed the Rouran and seized power. This new empire was given a new name, the Göktürk Khaganate. For the first time in history, the name Turk became the official identity of a sovereign state. The empire did not stop at Eastern Asia. It expanded rapidly, stretching from Mongolia all the way to modern Kazakhstan and Turkestan, and extending its influence along the critical Silk Road trade routes. From east to west, it became a vast but organized nomadic superpower that united the Turkic tribes of Central Asia under one political system. but governing such a massive empire from a single center proved impossible. In time, it split into two, the Eastern Göktürks and the Western Göktürks. Then, in the 7th century CE, Islam arrived. After the rightly guided caliphate and into the Umayyad era, during the reign of Caliph Walid ibn Abd al-Malik, Muslim armies pushed beyond Persia and advanced deep into Central Asia. Between 705 and 715 CE, the legendary commander Qutayba ibn Muslim launched a historic campaign of conquests across Bokhara, Samarkand, Fergana, Tashkent, and Kashgar. This was the first direct confrontation between the Turkic world and Islam. Although most Turkic tribes still clung to their old ways of Tengriism and idol worship, Islam had now quietly taken root in Central Asia. Later, during the reign of Caliph Umar ibn Abd al-Aziz, 717 to 720 CE, Turkic rulers were formally invited to embrace Islam. After the Battle of Talas in 751 CE, Islam's influence spread rapidly through the Turkic world. Arab scholars and missionaries were sent into Turkestan. Many Turkic tribes began accepting Islam, one by one. Tribute, including enslaved people, began flowing into the caliphate from Bokhara, Samarkand, and Turkestan. Over time, many of these people accepted Islam as well. Then came the Abbasid era. After Caliph Harun al-Rashid, when al-Ma'mun became caliph, the balance of power inside the caliphate began to shift. His mother was of Iranian and Khorasani origin, and as a result, Persian and Khorasani influence in the government, army, and royal court grew enormously. But when al-Mu'tasim became caliph, a new transformation began. Displeased with Persian dominance, al-Mu'tasim looked for a different source of power, the Turks. His own mother, Merida, was of Turkic descent, which gave him a natural bond of trust with Turkic soldiers. Al-Mu'tasim purchased thousands of Turkic enslaved soldiers. He gave them Islamic education and military training, then enrolled them into the Abbasid army. A Western historian, writing in the decline and fall of the Roman Empire, notes that their numbers exceeded 500. Al-Mu'tasim dressed them in silk uniforms and golden belts, making the Turkish units visually distinct from all other forces. Every year, thousands of Turkic soldiers were brought to the capital. The most capable among them were appointed as commanders of the royal guard. The rest filled the ranks of the regular army. As the Turks' strength within the army grew, the Arab military units shrank. Because the Turks enjoyed the caliph's personal protection, they feared no one. They rode their horses wildly through the streets of Baghdad, frequently injuring women and children, sometimes fatally. The people of Baghdad quickly grew furious at their abuses. When complaints flooded in, al-Mu'tasim made a decision. The Turks would be housed outside Baghdad in a dedicated military garrison. He chose the site of Samarra, about 60 miles north of Baghdad. The location impressed him so much that he renamed it Suraman-Are. Whoever sees it rejoices. Grand palaces were built for the caliph and his ministers alongside the military quarters. Al-Mu'tasim left Baghdad and settled in Samarra with his Turkish troops. Soon, people from all walks of life followed. Within a short time, Samarra became a thriving, magnificent city, and for the next 58 years, it served as the capital of the Abbasid Caliphate. Al-Mu'tasim's generosity toward the Turks made a deep impression. Gradually, Turkic princes and chieftains from across Turkestan began migrating to Samarra and embracing Islam. During this era, the Turks' influence in state affairs grew so powerful that not only the throne, but the very life of the caliph himself rested in the hands of the Turkish army. The result was inevitable. After Caliph al-Mu'tasim, the decline of the Abbasid Caliphate became unmistakable. This same army now installed and removed caliphs at will. The central government in Baghdad weakened. Its control over distant territories became little more than a name. The first to exploit this weakness were the eastern provinces, where small regional rulers broke away and fell under the authority of local governors. Then came the Safarid dynasty, founded by Yaqub ibn al-Layth al-Safar, a simple coppersmith from Sistan. He gathered local fighters and warriors, built a powerful army, rebelled against the Abbasid governors, and gradually captured large parts of Khorasan and Iran. By openly challenging Baghdad's authority, he established a fully independent state. This was the moment when the first major regional power broke away from the Abbasid Caliphate. The Abbasid Caliphate's weakness was now fully exposed. Among the Turks who had once entered Baghdad as enslaved soldiers, one man would change history. Abbasid Tulun came from a Turkic military family. His father, Tulun, had been among the Turkish enslaved soldiers enrolled into the Abbasid army. Ahmad was later appointed as governor of Egypt. But by this time, the Abbasid Caliphate was deep in internal crisis. Central authority was crumbling under Turkish influence. Distant provinces were slipping out of Baghdad's grip. Abbasid Tulun saw the opportunity. He built his own army in Egypt, strengthened the port, took control of the tax system, and slowly freed himself from Baghdad's orders. Then the moment came. Egypt broke away entirely from the Abbasid Caliphate. A new Turkic dynasty was born, the Tulunid Dynasty, the first major Turkic sultanate in Islamic history, ruling over Egypt and the Levant. Abbasid Tulun had not just founded a sultanate. He had proven to the world that breaking away from the Abbasid Caliphate and achieving full independence was entirely possible. After him, the Caliphate's fragmentation accelerated. In the east, the Safarid dynasty expanded its independent rule. In North Africa, three major powers emerged. The Abbasid Sultanate, ruling modern Tunisia, Algeria, and Libya. Nominally Abbasid, but fully autonomous in practice. The Rustamid Sultanate, an independent state in Algeria, differing even in religious doctrine from the Abbasids. The Khatama Berber Confederation, not a formal sultanate, but a powerful tribal alliance that supported the Fatimid movement and later played a decisive role in establishing the Fatimid Caliphate. Meanwhile, the Saffarids continued to expand, pulling Turkestan and the territories near China further away from Baghdad. This led to the rise of yet another power, the Samanid Dynasty, a Persian-origin Muslim sultanate that became effectively independent. By around 890 CE, before the reign of Caliph al-Mu'tadid, even parts of modern Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Georgia had fallen under the control of local governors and military commanders. Arab authority in these regions was in clear decline. The Abbasid Caliphate was no longer a central empire. It had become a loose network of independent states and regional powers. And among all these rising powers, none were growing faster or stronger than the Turks.